guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about the mom tag. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and since I have quite a few new subscribers now, I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity for y'all to get to know me just a little bit better. I love tag videos. I think that they're such a good way for you to get to know the person behind the camera a little bit more, and I have a list of 20 questions that I've pulled up, and I am just gonna go through each one and answer them all about being a mom. So these are great videos for those of you who are mamas just like I am. They're also great if you are an expecting mama. And even if you are not a mom yet, but hope to someday be one, these are also really great questions for you to hear, because it's just giving our thoughts and opinions and kind of just real life feedback on what it's like to be a mom. So like I said, there are 20 questions. I don't want this video to be super duper long, so I want to go ahead and just jump right into it. The first question is, how old were you when you had your first child? I was 35 when I had my first child, my only child. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? I wouldn't say there was anything like really hard about being pregnant. I loved being pregnant. The one thing that I found to be challenging was that I had morning sickness throughout my entire pregnancy. I was on diclegis, which is a safe medication for expectant moms. It's specifically for morning sickness, and I took that throughout my entire pregnancy, and it saved my life. I don't know how I would have been able to get to work every day and even just semi-function without it. So I would say that that was probably the most challenging part about being pregnant, but I loved being pregnant. I didn't find anything to be like extremely difficult with it. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? All of it. I enjoyed every single moment of being pregnant. For a lot of you who are newer to my channel, you probably don't know, we went through almost 5 years of fertility treatments. So there was a time in our life where we weren't sure we would ever be able to have children of our own. So me being pregnant, carrying my own child, was such a blessing, and I truly embraced each and every moment, the good and the bad, because I was so thankful to be able to experience it, and I loved all of it. Yes, being sick sucked, and there's a lot of other things that suck about being pregnant, but I loved it. I loved just being able to go through it, and I loved every bit of it. I loved just feeling him grow inside of me. I loved feeling him kick, and I took it all in. It was just an incredible experience. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I would say they're pretty accurate. I knew a lot of people that had babies. I watched a ton of pregnancy and delivery vlogs, and I read a lot of stuff, so I feel like I had a pretty good, like, realistic expectation of what it would be like. So yeah, I would say it was pretty accurate. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Absolutely not. The one thing that I will say is Chris and I went into our labor and delivery process without a birth plan. Our plan really was just to get the baby out as safely as possible for both of us. So ideally, you know, we wanted to do a vaginal delivery, but we also went in knowing that things can happen. I mean, we weren't naive to that fact, and things did happen. Things happened with myself, things happened with our baby, and we did end up having to have an emergency C-section. So when our OB said, hey, you know, I really think we need to do this, we trusted her 100%. We told her, whatever you think at any point during this whole process, if you think we need to change in how we proceed, just let us know and we're on board. We trusted her. She was the professional. She was the expert. This was not any area that we were going to even try to pretend that we knew anything about. And I know that I've heard, you know, I know that some people have birth plans and they're very adamant about sticking to those birth plans no matter how harmful to themselves or to the baby it could be. And that was not a road we wanted to go down. We just wanted to have both him and myself just safe and healthy, and however that was going to happen, we would just let it happen. What would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? I have lots of advice, but I would definitely say take all of the information in with a grain of salt. Try to remember that your baby and your situation is going to be completely different from everybody else's baby and everybody else's situation. So while everyone wants to give you all of their feedback and, you know, suggestions and all of that, like I said, just take it with a grain of salt and know that what might work for someone else's baby may not work for your baby. And you'd be surprised at how much your motherly intuition kicks in once that baby is here. And you will really get to know your baby, and you'll really get to know their cues and things that, you know, what certain cries mean, and just trust your baby, listen to them, and trust your gut. The other thing that I would say is take all the help in that you can get, especially during those first few weeks of being at home. Anybody who offers to help you, take it. I am one of those people that I don't like to ask for help. I would just rather do it myself. I don't want to burden anybody. I don't want to feel like I'm putting anybody out. If someone comes to you and says, "What can I do to help you?" it's because they truly want to help you. And chances are they've probably been where you are and know how hard it is. So just take all that you can get, even if it's like, "Hey, can I watch your baby for like 20 minutes while you go take a shower?" Do it. Just take that assistance and really just like don't feel guilty about it, don't feel bad about it, just let them help, let everybody help. And the other thing, the last thing that I will say is when you are in the hospital and all of the nurses and doctors and lactation consultants and all of them are coming into your room, and if you are going to be breastfeeding your baby, and even if you think like, "Hey, I've got this, my baby's latching, my baby's doing great, they're eating, you know, whatever," most of them are going to come in, they're going to say, "Hey, how are you doing with breastfeeding? Can I see how you're doing? Can you show me what you're doing?" Do it. Take all of that in, because each individual person is going to give you a different perspective. And even if you think you got it down pat, and even if you think you're doing really well, they could offer a piece of advice that might make it even better. It might make it better for you. It might make it better for your baby. So every single person that comes in to offer and help with breastfeeding tips and suggestions and all of that, just take it. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? Being a mom is hard in general. Like, there's no instruction manual for being a mom. And I would say that the hardest thing, especially initially when you have a newborn, is you do get to know your baby's cues and their cries and what's wrong. And there are moments where sometimes you just don't know what's wrong with them, and they are screaming and crying, and you know that something's wrong. You know that they're in pain, or they're upset, or they're just in distress. And it's hard. It's really hard, and it's heartbreaking because you just want to be there for your baby, and you want to soothe them and take care of them, and you just don't know what to do for them. And I would say that that is definitely a really, really hard thing to get through. But just in general, being a mom, it's hard. Being a parent is hard. Like, every day is a hard day. I mean, there are so many wonderful moments, but yeah, just being a parent is hard. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? There are so many rewarding things about being a mom. Especially now that Gunnar is getting older, he's gonna be 2 next weekend, and a week from tomorrow, actually. Gosh. He's now at this age where he just like, he's definitely throwing his temper tantrums, and he gets mad, but then he has these moments of sweetness, and he just like comes up to me and he just throws his arms around my neck and he gives me a kiss, and it just makes my heart melt. Like, oh my gosh, it's the best. It really is. It's like 5 minutes ago I was mad at you and yelling at you, and I just completely forgot about all of that because you just melted my heart. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, there's nothing else I can do. There's so many good moments. But, you know, even just seeing all of the different growth that they go through, like seeing him from an infant and now he's becoming this little person and he's talking and he's running around and he's crazy and he's funny, and yeah, there's so many rewarding moments of being a mom, of being a parent. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? Definitely how much I loved him. Obviously, I knew that I was going to have so much love for my little baby. I loved him from the moment that, you know, I started feeling him and I knew he was in my stomach. But once they're here and you hold them for the first time, there's just something that just like comes over your body, and it's like the most incredible, amazing feeling. And I truly underestimated how much I would love him. It hurts my heart how much I love him, because I would do anything for him, and I totally underestimated that. I definitely did, and I was super surprised by that. It was just something completely unexpected. What is the best memory you have involving your child? I would say the best memory, I have so many great memories with him already, but my most favorite memory is when he was an infant and he would just like curl up on my chest and he would sleep there. Even in the hospital, like I would just rock him and we would both go to sleep. Sitting at home, I would just sit there, we'd be watching TV and he would be all curled up in this little ball on my chest and I would fall asleep. I mean, that was the most precious time for me. It really was. I just cherish those moments that I had with him. What was the most exciting milestone? Well, all of his milestones are exciting because he's doing something different. You know, he's learning something new and you're watching this little person just like grow before your eyes. But I would say the most exciting one was when he first smiled and laughed. I remember when he first laughed, I was holding him, I was sitting on the couch and I was holding him and I was making these funny noises and he just started to laugh, and it was just the best thing because it was really like the first milestone and it was just so sweet. It really was. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? He's done a lot of bad things, but I can't think of like one really bad thing. Oh, yes I can. He got into some paint, like house paint. When we moved into our house at the end of last year, we had family in town for Christmas, and he was about 18 months old. Not quite. He was about 17. Yeah, he wasn't quite 18 months old yet. And he was out in the garage. There were, from the previous owners, there were still some cans of paint left from stuff that they had done in the house out in the garage. And he was out there with his dad and his papa and his papa. I think all three of them were out there with him. And I don't know what happened. I wasn't out there, but somehow he was playing and he got into the paint. It was all over him, all over the garage. It was everywhere. So yeah, that was probably one of the worst things he's done. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? Right now, he is in that temper tantrum phase and he's hitting. So when he doesn't get his way, if he gets upset about something, if he's mad, like if he's trying to do something and it's not working and he gets frustrated, he gets really mad and he gets angry and he'll throw things and he'll just like come up to me and just hit me for no reason. That is definitely a habit we are trying to break him of, and I know it's just a phase, but right now it's a very trying time with him. What habit of theirs makes you most proud? I would say that if he, and he's been doing this for quite a while, if he does something to one of the animals if he hurts them or pulls their hair too hard or does something like that, he's always really good about going back to them and giving them a hug to tell them he's sorry. And I think that that is very sweet. It's very kind. And it does make me proud to see that he does have that softer side to him, and he does recognize if he hurts them that he needs to apologize and give them a hug. Do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? Physical wise, I don't share a lot with him. He has my mouth and he has my nose, and I would kind of say eyes, but both Chris and I have blue eyes, and I think he kind of obviously takes on some of my eye traits, but like he has really long eyelashes that are like Chris. So definitely his nose and his mouth. Personality wise, he loves animals. So, you know, and I love animals. He does have a really, really sweet side to him. And I do see that side of me coming out in him because obviously he spends so much time with me and I'm teaching him that. But yeah, I mean, he is like Chris's mini me. I mean, personality, looks, like he is Chris's child through and through. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? Well, I mean, obviously he'll be in school. He'll be 12. Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I hope that he's doing well in school. I hope that he has a good group of friends. I hope that he's involved in sports and activities and things like that, that is just helping him to learn and grow as a person. I hope that he's involved with our church, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say at 12. Oh my gosh. He'll probably be like getting ready to go through puberty, which is something I'm so not ready for. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. What is something what is something that having a child has taught you? Lots and lots of patience. Lots of patience. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom? No. Honestly, at 35, I had expected to have had 3 kids. And yeah, I did not expect to be an older mom. Chris didn't expect to be an older dad. You know, and I know that now it is becoming a more and more common thing. Like, you are seeing a lot of older parents, which it helps. I mean, I know Chris really worries about that a little bit. I don't worry about it as much, but it is kind of nice being older because we've had more experiences than a younger parent has had. Not to say that that makes you a better parent, but just we can parent a little bit differently, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I was not expecting to have my first child at this age and to not have any more children yet at 37. Like, that was very unexpected. Describe your child in a single sentence. Gunnar is hilarious, funny, outgoing, and smart, and just a really sweet and bright boy. And the last question is, how have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I've changed a lot. I just don't care about the things that I used to care about. I am more selective now in who I surround myself with. I don't let things get to me like I used to let them get to me. I kind of just let things roll off my back now. Even with being a mom, you know, there are a lot of times where I think I would just like, if I weren't a mom, I would probably cringe seeing him do some of the things he does. But now I'm just like, you know what? He's a kid and he's gonna do these things and it's okay. So yeah, I think that I've changed quite a bit from being a mom and just letting things go, letting things roll off my back and not sweating the small stuff, not letting things get to me like I used to. So that is it. Those are the 20 questions about being a mom. I hope that you enjoyed this video and feel like you got to know me just a little bit better. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy my channel, and I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. I do upload videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave any questions that you have below. If you have other like mom related questions that I didn't answer, leave them down below and I will be happy to address them and answer them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing in this time with me. I hope that you enjoyed it and I will see you all next time. Bye.